now. Rip. I'm doing it right now, dude. Yeah, me too. I just went to the Citadel too. Oh my god. Yeah.
So okay, so
man.
Draven builds. I used to, man, for like after you told me to go like Cutlass, BF, whatnot, and all that garbage.
That was popular before the patch, the new patch.
Oh, it started already, dude.
The after the patch, I think Death Stance might be better because BORK got nerfed by gold. But I mean, the BORK's still good, but I would say like I think Death Stance is really strong because of the they changed it from I think 15% reduced damage to like 30% or something. That
I'm sorry, dude.
that'll take over 5 seconds.
What do you think about going like Bloodthirster, i.e. Shiv? Because I feel like Bloodthirster is really strong. Because
It's good if you can if you get so far ahead that you can stack BF swords. Yes, that's fine. But
well,
what?
it's just the lifesteal it gives, right? And it gives a lot of damage.
Yeah, but think about it. The amount of lifesteal that you get from Bloodthirster, you could also get lifesteal from what do you call it?
That's it.
From Death Stance or Mercurial or BORK. The problem isn't like the lifesteal, because like it's not. Hold on, 1 second. Let me hover. Come. So let's see. Bloodthirster wiki, and then
Nice.
Flavor wiki, and then Death Stance wiki. So I can pull up the exact stats of everything.
Oh.
Yo, we
So-
should have, man.
185 on the ground.
Fizz Maokai,
Someone didn't get it.
Ivern, either one of those.
You guys want that? Did you get anything? Because we can split it up.
Where's my support? There it is. So when you're comparing the lifesteal from Bloodthirster to Death Stance to
I got one dwarf fleet.
what do you call it? To Blade.
BORK.
So with Bloodthirster you get 20%, and then you overheal, right? So
Yeah, that's huge. I think
Or you live.
it's
that shield, man. It gives you the sense of like you're safe. It's like an extra auto too.
My friend just got told me
it's good against assassins, but I haven't done the math for the shield versus Death Stance. Because like
True.
for example, instantly heal for 15% of physical damage dealt from Death Stance. That's the equivalent of having 15% lifesteal. I'm pretty sure.
that before.
I'm pretty sure Bloodthirster heals more.
Yes, because it's 20%.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? Death Stance says all physical damage. So that means, you know, your ult, your E, and then your basic auto attacks. So I'm trying to think of efficiency right now. So Bloodthirster costs the most, and you get almost equal stats in lifesteal with Death Stance, right? But Death Stance is 200 gold cheaper, and then BORK is 300 gold cheaper, minus the 5% lifesteal. But the thing is, with BORK, if you can imagine, if somebody has 1,000 health, right, by the time you finish BORK, that means you do, at their max health, you do 8% of their current health. So that means you do 80 extra damage, right? So that means you have the equivalent of 120 AD on BORK. You can argue that the AD, the flat AD that you get off your what do you call it, Bloodthirster, would give you like let's say 40, I know it's 45% on your axe or something like that, at least at the beginning, level 1 or something. So if I were to say half of the AD is extra on your axe, you, with Bloodthirster, you get somewhere close to the same amount as BORK, right? So you get 80 AD on your auto, and then the half of that extra on your Q. So that comes around 120, right? And then BORK would have 40 per auto, 40 AD, and then an extra 20, so you have 60. But 60 plus 80 is what you're looking at on the first few hits, right? Assuming they have 1,000 health. So right off the bat, you have BORK doing more damage at the beginning when they're full health, if somebody has 1,000 health, compared to you having Bloodthirster, if that makes sense. And like if you have a tank, or like later in the game 2,000 health, that means you're doing 160, because you're doing 8% of 2,000 health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So especially with tanks, BORK scales a lot harder, but early game, and especially people with like 1,500 health and less, BT comes out like slightly ahead. Does that make sense?
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah, but like here's the thing: you're playing for late game, and I didn't take into account attack speed or the BORK passive, right? Whereas with Bloodthirster, you have no way of slowing anyone or doing anything like that. So that's why you don't rush for BORK, because it's not efficient early game, and that's why you do Cutlass into BF, because Cutlass into BF is the most AD efficient start that you can build, BORK into as Draven. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because BF sword is the most AD efficient item in the game. That's why a lot of times if you can get like double BF sword or something random like that, you can pop off, because that's 80 AD for 2,600, right? Where usually 80 AD costs 3,500 around, right? 3,400, 3,700 for IE, etc.
Man, what's their team, man?
Their team is Wukong support, and I counter because W gives me true sight. Anyway, so besides item efficiency, this is gonna be like typical all-in lane. Alright, just run back. One auto on the grump, one auto on the grump.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got that.
I don't really like the when it comes to... Have you seen it?
Oh, what the hell? It's Warwick? Come all in right now. This guy's being stupid. Alright, just wait. Just auto the minions. If Warwick comes back up again, he'll die. And then level 2, we're gonna get level 2 before them, so he's gonna die.
I didn't miss it.
Okay.
Oh man, I didn't calc it.
Alright, just walk up. I'm gonna flash for Warwick. Flash. Nice. Perfect. Okay.
My spirit is an unquenchable fire.
Good shit. Alright, so now we're ready to take our advantage early.
A bunch of people. Alright.
So you should have around 800 gold right now?
No, I have 400.
400? Oh, wait. Oh, I got
You
first
got
blood.
the-
My bad. I thought you got it. Oh, for some reason I'm crazy. Alright, whatever. We can keep staying. If he walks on the top side of the tower, you can harass him by walking
Yeah.
there.
I do that, yeah. Man, like the thing is, this problem in solo queue, you get these supports that aren't confident, right?
I'm sure they don't know what they're doing.
Man, I played with this Thresh. The entire lane phase, he wouldn't do anything. I would ping him to go in all the time because I knew I was stronger and could beat them, but he wouldn't do anything, man. So I didn't get nothing throughout lane phase, and I got caught after, man. It was terrible.
Sometimes when you get supports that don't know what they're doing, your only option is to play safe and pay attention to where their junglers. Like right now, Graves should be finishing his entire top side and coming back bottom. So I'm gonna go ward for that. You should be warding for that, by yourself if you're doing it. So now we can keep pushing him in and then basically shove him out of lane here. What? You could have thrown an auto there? Ooh. You could have eat him and taken him down to 200 health there for doing that. You gotta be instant on like reaction with stuff like that. You could have basically pushed Warwick out of lane. Forced him to use extra 2 biscuits right there. Okay, Graves is mid, so pay attention to that. We don't know where the mid laner is. Karthus is probably not gonna roam. He's gonna come back mid. Yeah, he's still mid. So they're both mid. Alright. Let's keep harassing this guy. I have Ignite in 40. Don't let him see us here. Since the minions were all aggroing the fat minion in the front, you could have taken your time there to... what do you call it? To just hit Lucian once. Alright, so Graves is top here, we can keep shoving him. And make sure when you're in a fight, you don't spam W too much if they're near you, only if you need to catch them.
Usually, yeah. That sucks.
Holy shit, what the hell, that tower did so much damage to me?
Usually I use every 2 axes I pick, I use W. Something like that.
You should just pay attention to how much until it gets off cooldown. You should be able to harass them on their tower here by yourself. Until I come over there. We don't know where Graves is.
That's...
He has heal up, so pay attention to that. It's 30 seconds after my ignite. If he's 18 or 12, I think. Yeah. So always make sure you're paying attention to sums relative. Alright. What the hell, my W won't go off? That was rude. Should have flashed way earlier there.
I don't have flash.
What the hell, you telling me that thing?
Oh, that was my bad.
Oh, okay. It's just
It's up now.
What about heal though? You had heal, right?
Yeah.
So
I know I was gonna die even if I would.
The thing is, I think you could have either lived or lived enough to force Graves to ulti there, and then I could have killed Lucian if you heal before their ignite. So whenever you're fighting into someone who has, what do you call it, ignite, always, like if you're going in or you know what you're about to fight, as soon as you're 3/4 health, heal immediately. Don't greed, don't like wait for no reason, because they'll pop it, and then like if you would have healed there, you would have had to heal through ignite and it wouldn't have done much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just always, if you're fighting against ignite, use it really early, because if you don't have it up, then you can just play safe, right? It's not a big deal. Alright, so let's go in.
You could probably dive Lucian if he was there.
I'm pretty sure he didn't use heal there, and my ignite is down. So the chances of us being able to dive are low. Okay, this guy. Actually, yeah, we can dive. Oh, what the hell? Okay, never mind. He used the plank. Ah, fuck. Do you have heal? I wasn't expecting Warwick to use the plant there. You can go for autos. Nice. Alright.
I use my alt as an auto reset.
Yeah, that's fine. You should do that. But only when you know they don't have flash up. Because this has happened to me many times where I've done that, but then they flash away and I could have just thrown it to where they would flash, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, standard rotation here. After you get bot tower, just rotate the top. If your top laner, you know, likes to listen to you.
I feel like whenever that happens to me, like whenever the enemy does that to me, like they get ahead, right? They get bot tower because like they get ganked and then they get bot tower and then they go top to push. It gives me a free lane to farm and get the tower, and I do that. I get like waves for free and then I get their tower, and then they got nothing out of what their rotation. So I'm like, is that really worth it? Like, is that?
Well, that means that their jungler in their top lane didn't play it properly. Cause, oh shit.
Oh, okay. That.
Okay. You can get him.
I don't want to chase that.
Cutlass has ult soon. Did you use your Cutlass on Graves?
No, man, my Cutlass was on the wrong number.
Oh. You should have gotten the kill then?
I know.
Not too bad. Well, yeah, Orianna had like, yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Kennen should be able to 1v1 Lucian here.
Your turret has been destroyed.
As Ionia changes, so must
Nice. Are they in the advanced though? I think there's a difference.
never become a monster.
There is.
Nice. Alright, go mid. She's in trouble.
Trouble.
Alright, he doesn't have mana, so just rush up to him. Alright, where's the Ana?
Yeah,
Alright, run after that. Run. Okay. Go bottom to save Kennen. Ah, you don't have mana?
I used that one.
And made a meadow between. Never fall.
So what do I want to do? What do I want to do now? Like,
Go mid.
if I was alone,
Enemies double kill.
yeah, if I was alone now, I actually would have just farmed jungle and then.
No. Well, like, you can only do that if your teammates aren't fighting. If they're grouping somewhere, you want to make sure you follow them.
Man, like, I was told to never waste time, right? You want to be
Yep.
either fighting, farming, or something, right?
Yep.
So I
Come
farmed for like. I farmed for like. Entire game.
Nice.
That was a bad ult.
It's fine. It'll work. Shit. Okay.
Never fear change.
So yeah. I farm way too much.
That's... Yeah. I mean, I know I've made like the same mistake before.
Man, I didn't even auto that. I was just running.
Never fear change.
The flash. Graves.
Damn
We
it.
must all make our
He's not backing over there.
Lol.
But at this point in the game, it's all about just pressuring objectives over and over again. So now we got a kill on Warwick. Karthik has a lot of wave clear mid, so we can't really just take this tower. We should just try to take this, and then all that guy's in trouble, so... Up. Can't really go to him anymore, we can't do the reptile, I'll just take this. Because we want to make sure we have vision in case they do it. And try to always keep a pink on you. Oh, you can find him, you can find him, don't be afraid.
He has double buff.
Doesn't matter. You have me. Hello? He's by himself. You shouldn't have let him been able to walk that way.
Bad ulti.
Happens.
I tend to do that way too much.
We can try to do Rift Herald right now because we know Graves is really low. He's probably gonna have to waste Smite on something to get his HP back up. So this isn't
But I
working.
didn't miss it.
You can tank it. I think they're gonna try to stop us. We should turn immediately if they come.
I'm coming.
Run.
I got ignited. The end, man.
Holy shit, I got him. That's unlucky.
No, did you see my E went the wrong way?
No, I didn't watch for that actually.
I'm actually slacking so much this game.
Why are we slacking? Bruh.
Man, there's only one game that I can remember that I played everything perfectly. Like, I dodged everything, I played the map really well. It's not that I got a lot of kills, it's just how I played, and I was so proud of myself after that game.
I mean, that's good, but it's all about consistency. Even if you have all the game knowledge in the world, if you can't manage to do that every game, you heal? Oh, nice, life steal, sick.
I can kill Lucian, I have heal.
Okay, do it. Point one. Nice.
Unlucky.
I mean, yeah. Apparently I do a lot of damage. You can
I'm gonna
take
take
top
this
tower.
tower.
Yeah. Oh my god, why did this guy go in? I could have just taken the kill. Wait, he lived? No way. Dude, he's so lucky this Cutlass is a funny guy.
Wow.
I'm just gonna base.
Yep.
I'm sitting on too much gold. Oh, it's not gonna go. Damn it. Wasting my time.
lies within.
We have... What the hell? Get 25 from
Never fear change.
So yeah, try to keep a pink word on you. Or like, pink word on the map and a pink word on you. I was like, having like vision all over the map is very important. Do you need to back right now, or can you start Rift Herald? They don't have vision on it. Alright. If Warwick comes, we should be able to turn. Yeah. Just keep doing it. I can hold them on. Graves is coming just back. Oh, we can finish it maybe. Oh, that sucks.
No! Man, I clicked R. No man. Warwick should have died.
Ah,
That's
you
my
ignited me?
fault.
An enemy has been slain.
If I only played that correctly, I would have gotten Herald and probably killed him.
Yeah.
But of course,
You should have had 3 axes, by the way, when you were doing Herald. That's the fastest way to do it. And you had enough attack speed to do it. You probably would have gotten in like 4 more autos during the entire thing. If you were juggling 3 axes. And I'm pretty sure Graves killed it when it was at like 150 health with his ult. Alright.
Never fall.
It's like the little things. Like them getting that tower in Herald was like a game changer, whereas you could have denied it
Again.
if you had just done a little bit more. I can get this. Oh my god, he knocked him away?
okay, so yeah, the stand aside trick. Okay.
Never fall.
To stand them aside, like towards where you want them to go.
Yep.
So like I stand him aside to the other way. When you told that guy, when he stood aside, he could have stood aside him to you, but he didn't. And I thought you would say something like that, but
Oh, maybe.
I mean, obviously.
Overlooked it or something? Can't look at it anymore? Okay. Can we get there?
How did Lucian? Was it his W? Because it wasn't his Q.
We able to
Man,
try?
that's terrible. I don't like to be in fights like that. I was like in their face.
Dang, that's unlucky. Oh, they're doing Baron?
We must all make our choices.
Wait, Kennen? Hello? Wait, is this Kennen trolling?
Never falter.
Hey, nice. He's getting kills now? Oh, this guy's going in. And he's dead.
Man, this is the thing. Lucian got free farm. He's 2 levels ahead of me.
I mean, yeah, he got free farm, but
Destroyed a turret.
a lot of the, what do you call it? The mistakes that happened so far is just like randomly letting people live for no reason. Like the whole like we died a lot because they kept grouping for us, you know what I mean? But like when you saw Graves over here by himself and you just let him walk away, it's like you're afraid because he had double buffs or something. Like that shouldn't have happened. I just run. We don't know where they are.
Never falter.
There he is.
Challenge what you need.
Okay. Okay.
You shouldn't
Okay.
be dying. Like you know that, what do you call it? Wukong was over here when he was chasing me. So for you to be here, risky.
Yeah, man. I just didn't think he'd come. He was invisible,
Why?
and then he flashy.
Like you saw that when I told you to leave here, he also came out of invisibility, almost killed us, right? Like that man is fucking hungry. You have to assume that they'd always go after you, even if it's like a cheese. Never play like.
It's a good way to think. Assume they always will go for you. It's a good way. It's a good mindset.
Yeah,
I never actually thought that way.
that's the way you prevent getting cheesed. They could be in that brush right there.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I have seen two paths and made another between them.
Holy shit, that guy went in by himself. I assume when Karthus walks up like that, you should be punishing him. Why? Because Graves isn't there. We don't like Wukong should be bottom too.
Man, I'm so bad.
Fuck, I should have punished him. And now Warwick's coming. Nice. Holy shit. Fucking Wukong.
Challenge what you need.
I had a lead and I threw it because I'm bad. Good job.
What? That sounds tilt talk, dude. Like tilt talk?
It's sad talk.
Holy shit, why does it keep going in? I feel like I could have lived a little bit longer with you. You should have been. I don't know. Never mind. I feel like it would have been. Rapid? Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I think Shiv is the way to go right now.
It's definitely not a game I'm proud of.
It's fine. It happens. I think you should get Maw or Bloodthirster. Why? Because they're not really tanky. So after you get Last Whisper, you should get Bloodthirster. Why? Because you want to survive Karthus, but they have a lot of AD, so the only way around that is by not getting too much magic resist, but still finding a way to survive Karthus ulti. They have 2 ignites though, which is unfortunate.
Never falter. My spirit is an unquenchable fire.
It's that Baron they got. I made them.
Never falter.
Oh my god, this guy's build is not too good. Cannon. Oh, that's a comeback. That's the fight we needed. Alright, we just run it down.
We must all make
I
our
was like, this is gonna be a good ult.
Yeah, that was good. Turned out A-okay for us. I was like, keep in mind, you're playing with probably better players, since like your MMR was, or PGG said plat 1. And then my MMR is like D3, I guess.
Nah, but it's the same stuff. It's the same shit.
I guess leave and be Baron.
as I only told you, so must I.
Just get vision of this. Alright, wrong.
Never falter. Challenge.
Go top, cancel your back, cancel your back. You might get cheesed here. No axe? What?
I have seen
I just run on around. This is warded. I have to go get wards. Have you gotten a pink and put it on the map yet?
Never again.
Okay. No.
Bruh. The pink is very useful.
This guy is not letting me back, dude.
Answer line.
I don't think he came, dude.
But I keep stopping.
Never fall.
There you go. Here's your ping just for you.
Must all make our choices.
Let's put it somewhere in our jungle.
Heart and mind. Lock me on over.
Yeah, I want that juicy Baron.
Never falter. That is what we
Yeah. Well, we need a Orianna. Just keep farming them. And also something that I don't see you do often enough is keeping your axes up as you travel across the map by hitting it on random things like plants and whatnot.
have seen.
Like doing that is also important. Go top. Top lane.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess someone's gonna go.
See, I would go top for my greedy self, but I know that if I go top, I'm gonna stay top and stuff will happen. I don't want that.
I mean, stuff will happen.
Like fights will happen that I won't be a part of.
Not necessarily. Just ping people off.
I did that much damage and he's 3 levels ahead. Come on.
Never
If that was just the same level, I'd probably take him.
Be careful, you don't know where Wukong is. What you just did there was hella risky.
unquenchable fire.
Oh my god. They're fighting without us. Okay, I'm gonna go by. Bye. Should go get red.
I would go top, but
Oh, no, yeah, at this point, yeah, it's too risky.
Never falter.
And
Here it is. Never again.
Whoa, dude.
Answer line.
Space.
are they hungry?
they should come here and deny him.
This cannon shield bot.
Oh, he's soloing it, I don't know. Oh, I got fucking roll with it. That's fine.
They got Baron?
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's a solo here.
Never falter.
Alright, go just go push mid or yeah, we can take mid here. Wait, that's risky to go that way. I hope you can 1v1. See, like I would have already had an axe running up there, assuming that they were gonna cheese me, or like Lucian was or something. Because if they get the first auto, you know, they probably win.
Yeah, yeah.
Go after that. Go after that. Go after that. Don't let him live. Nice. Okay, nice. Now we can end the game.
Man, I didn't do anything this game. I don't like this. I don't like it when I don't do well. Terrible player, man.
I ain't got any though.
We're all terrible players on the inside. Anyway,
I definitely didn't deserve to win this.
didn't say that, dude. Why would you say that? Alright, let me. So, I guess we can go over this real quickly, but if you have another replay you want to watch, let me know. Because I'm probably going to speed run through this. And then. Because since we already played through it, there's probably not much. But maybe I missed a few details or something. I'll just be following you around the entire time on the replay. So, I'm going to call you on Skype real quick.
What up?
What up? Alright, share screens. You can see my screen? Maybe?
It's loading.
It's a
Oh,
little.
yeah. Yeah, I can.
Okay. Because, like, the one, like, Draven's biggest flaw is not being able to have 2 axes ready in a fight. You know what I mean? If you start off with 1 axe, you're losing a lot of damage, right? You start off an objective with only 1 axe, you're losing a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever you're running around, always try to keep 2 axes up. Whether you're hitting on a random plant or like a scuttle or just random jungle creeps, always try to have 2 axes up. Because a lot of the fights that I saw this game, like, you were just running around without any axes. So, if you get caught or if a fight starts, you're not ready to immediately do damage. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Alright, so you can see yourself now, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Minions have spawned.
In this lane, we could have gone to the river because we, like, usually with Karma, especially with Ignite, we have the advantage, but doing this isn't really bad either. Like, it's not bad. Alright. So, the first thing here, already off the bat, you made a decision I wouldn't have made. You are kiting towards Lucian. Do you agree?
Yeah. I was kind of to the side, yeah.
And here's a problem already. Like, you can just get chunked, right? If you look at this, if Lucian's a good player, he immediately reacts to you being here, right? And just throws a Q through these minions. And you just lost like 80 health, right? Not something you want to do. So instead, if there's minions here, you either want to be here or you want to be here. That's why I'm sitting here. I have an intention here. On top of Warwick not playing behind minions, you know, I also have the incentive of chucking him. Typically, the way this lane should be running, if you're playing against good players, is Warwick is down here. Why? Because he has an entire wall of minions he can hide behind from me. And because he's already low. Same thing with Lucian. He'd be playing from, like, behind, right? So I would try to play from here. But this means that in order to get any sort of all-in potential, you cannot get damaged early. Support's job in this case is try to harass, damage, or whatever, just help you out trade. So, because I'm playing Karma, so that's damage support, your job is play off to the side, deny any support here, and then this is also ideal because you don't get hit by Lucian Q. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, it does.
Have you thought about this before?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I usually just rush for level 2 and then I think about that stuff, basically.
Okay, you gotta make sure that you think about every potential thing, because, like, I've played so many all-ins with Draven that you start to realize how, like, tiny amounts of health make all the difference. Like, one auto attack will make all the difference in an all-in. But anyway, so try to do that. Support mirrors wherever these guys are, but, like, my intended target now is Warwick, because I know if I can chunk him out half health, I know my ult Q does 150 damage, and I know 2 autos of yours on top of an ignite will kill him.
You know
Yeah.
what happened here?
Well,
I tunneled to the minions.
why? Like,
I just focused on getting these 3 first minions, and then I would look to what you're doing
mhm.
because I didn't want to miss those.
See, like you gotta think steps ahead.
But if I was good, I'd get like a min. I'd be always looking at what's up, and
Like,
then I'd
yeah.
probably be able to react to it and kill Warwick. You know.
So that's the thing. Like, you gotta play to understand what potential paths does the future open up for you, right? Immediately when I come into this lane, I know what I'm looking for, and I know the like I know what I want to do. You know what I mean? I know what could happen, and I know what I want to do. So right now, I know Warwick could play safe and not take damage from me, and try to help like Lucian clear the wave or something, or just stay back and not take a harass. That would be the correct, thing for him to do. But I'm looking to always try to get a mistake out of him. I know that at this point in the game, if I try to go for an all-in on Lucian at level 2, it's probably not going to help me that much, you know what I mean? Whether I was Draven, whether I was support. The reason being is because it'll probably only shove him out of lane. But it won't get me a kill. Whereas I know that I have kill pressure because I have Ignite, and because we can probably get level 2 before them. Why? Because Warwick's melee, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
on top of that, there's so many more things that are open to you for level 2. If this was the opposite case and it was Karma Lucian into Warwick Draven, you're probably looking to like rush for level 2. But if they get it before you, just let them shove you into your tower and farm. You know what I mean? Because then you have to think about what can my support do to be helpful to me in the future, right? Warwick before level 6, probably not gonna do anything unless your jungler comes and he gets a fear off or something. But until then you have to know like everyone's strengths and weaknesses as you play this. So anyway, to continue, I think I went a little bit overboard there, but hopefully you understand what I'm looking for in this specific situation and what you should be looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So Warwick just walking up into me already lets me know this guy's a bad player because he's just asking for free harass. There's nothing he can do by walking up into me like that. But see, I'm glad that, like you said, that after the first 3 minions, you started focusing. And then you took the position I was taking to try to deny, like, to try to go up on Warwick, basically. So at this point, what we're looking for is to maximize the distance that they need to go to their tower. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll see what you explain here.
Okay, so this is like really it's an interesting strategy that I don't think people understand when they're making the mistake. Like, you can force somebody to make a mistake here. You followed me, which was proper, but I don't think you know why you did it, right? See, now that we're both here, right? What does Lucian and Warwick want to do? Support-wise, versus support, what do they want to do?
Walk back, fight. I don't know.
Walk back, why?
Well, go in, I guess.
Why?
Or
Why
harass, do
do they
something.
want? How can Warwick harass right now?
Hey man, like
I gotta get you to think, man.
he would walk back because he's half HP.
Yeah,
right?
so he doesn't want to do anything, right?
But Lucian would probably also walk back. 'Cause
Okay,
Warwick would walk
What
back.
I'm trying to get to here is they want to stand behind minions because they don't want to take harass from me. Right?
And that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, with Draven, you can do a little bit of versus melee supports. Or like Janna or somebody, Soraka. If they ever play up here, right? You take this position that we just took. And if you realize what's happening here, these guys are going this direction, right? Do you
Mhm.
see this? And
Yeah.
guess what? Considering we're gonna get level 2 before them,
Oh,
the distance between their tower and where they are is increasing. You know what I mean?
I just left
Yeah.
the public thing.
So-
We're forcing,
There's
okay,
too
yeah.
many people,
Yeah.
so you feel
So
way too many
Warwick is
calls,
trying to
so
stand in
really
this
don't
area because he doesn't want to take harass from me, but also wants to be in XP range. So he's forced to go this way because Lucian is not immediately retreating because he doesn't realize that he's already in a position he's gonna lose. Like, when they're at this spot, they're locking in to lose, basically. When they fall for the, okay, this is something that'll happen in Diamond usually, but not anything higher than that, is they get baited into walking to here. So does that make sense so far?
Ready to do some
Yes.
reason?
What's happening here? Right. So now that this has already happened, we're walking up because we're about to get level 2. But it's already too late. These guys are not, and you threw your axe backwards here. You should have been much, like, a little bit closer to me there. Or at least on the line, because I knew you were trying to go for the minion that gave us level 2. But I think you could have been a little bit closer. I think here you could have been, like, literally in between where you and me are right now, if you threw the axe closer to you instead of backwards. But anyway, small things aside, I flash here because I need to make sure I'm still in range of this guy. And so here I don't think
Look at that flash shot. right in his face.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some stuff. I don't think you needed a flash into tower range. I think if you flashed here to where I was, which is not tower range, you'd still get 2 autos off on Warwick without getting tower damage. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Is this range?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. But anyway, so it worked out. You did your damage. You played it properly. We got first blood. On top of us getting first blood, we've stopped our teammates from losing their lanes really hard. Because if our teammates give away first blood, they fall really behind. You know what I mean? So if you can get first blood, that's even more power to you. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Any questions or anything so far?
No. Just listening.
Okay. Yeah, go.
Nah, nothing. Just continue.
So at this point, I think you could have played off the
side over there.
yeah. So here's why. This is wait, hold on, let me get a better screenshot over here. Several reasons, but obviously you're gonna have to figure out these reasons based on what support you're playing. But let's say you play here, right? You're still in range to hit all these minions, right?
Yep. But he isn't. He has to back off, right?
Yeah. If he tries to hit these minions, you automatically go on him and you hit him, right? Because you automatically win any trade here. If he Qs you, plus what do you call it? Yeah. If he Qs you, then you like throw in 2 autos or maybe 3 autos, and then he gets, cocked, right? So, on top of that, if you stand here, you forced him to go down, right? But guess where I am? I'm standing here. So if he goes down into this area, I can play off like this entire area down here and just have larger area to queue in, right? Where you have a larger area up here to do auto attacking in, right? So at this point, you basically force Lucian into a spot where he has to play down here, which means he can't hit the minions. And which means he can lose these 3. So he doesn't hit them. Well, he can get XP for them. But it's a good way to deny somebody a few gold. But it's a good advantage, right? Because maybe Lucian wouldn't get an item or something, or in time for a team fight, a million possibilities could happen. But you want to make sure you take every advantage possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be that's fairly complicated to think about, I think.
But on top of that, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because did we know where? I wasn't afraid of the jungle. If I went there, I'm not afraid of the jungler, because it'd be a 2v2.
We know where the jungler is because they leashed bot side red. So if the jungler was to come back bottom, Jhin would take his entire top side. So Graves coming to gank bottom like that isn't something like it's very rarely somebody will cheese like that. But you have a trinket, so you can just throw it in the tri-bush if it does happen, right?
Right?
But on top, so think about that. If they try to cheese you, you don't die, because I mean you still have heal. I have flash, you know, or no, I don't have flash at this point, but you have heal. So if they try to fight us, we know Warwick just spawned because he died, whatever, like 10 seconds ago, right? So we know it's going to be a 2v2. We know we're full health. We know Lucian is going to, like, we're about to hit level 3, and he's not. Like, their jungler has literally no incentive here to be ganking. Because they could follow behind, and it's a cheese that would probably not work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not even online.
So when you pay attention to something like that, you can kind of figure out where the jungler is. Then jungle pathing is pretty standard. If they start topside, you'll know because their topside will come late. If they start Raptors, you'll know because their mid laner usually does something for Raptors. But anyway, does that make sense as to why
Yep.
we could do that and why we could take that advantage?
Yeah.
I usually only do that if I have a trinket, but you should have a trinket, I'm pretty sure, because I never saw you use it. Alright, perfect. You're taking the good angle here, so that's really good.
Rustin, he has like 40 or 50k as those. The crystal, and I don't even know, man. It's just so many. Like that. Like if I need to.
I could have gotten a free auto.
Yeah, you need to. If I'm playing up here, you need to play up here. I mean, at this point, Graves could have finished blue buff and come back down, but we should have had a ward for that. So that should have been something on you. After 3 minutes and 15 seconds, he could be bought by like 320-ish. So, okay. So, little side topic here. Do you pay attention to how long someone takes to walk from base to the tower?
No.
Okay. So let me. Can I?
I think it takes like 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
It depends on the tier of boots they have, but like, let's go back to the beginning of the game here. Okay, so we left base at 15, and then I can watch you. So you kind of took the side path, but by the time you get to blue buff, you probably could have gotten the tier 2, you know what I mean? So right here,
1.37.
to get from the base all the way to your tier 1 tower took about 18 seconds for somebody, Draven, who has 330 movement speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you kill anybody here early, and maybe you see that their ADC has like 200 health under tower without summons, and you have like full health, well, you know that you killed Sona 5 seconds ago. She's dead. She just spawned. She has 18 seconds to come, and you know the jungler's top side because they did bot to top clear, right? Well, guess what? If you miss a kill there, that's your fault, and that's the reason you should lose the game. Because you didn't pay attention to how long it would take Sona to come back from base, and you knew that you could kill their AD carry by tanking like 2 or 3 tower shots. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So based on the movement speeds, like tier 1, usually from base to tier 1 tower, take like 12 to 15 seconds ish, and then tier 2 like 10 seconds ish. But give or take, just try to find these timings yourself. I don't know them off the top of my head. I just know them relatively, and you know I try to use them to my advantage. Does that make sense? Because
treasure hunt.
Yeah, it does.
when this happens at like level 8 or something, and you know their jungler top side or whatever because you have a ward on him, and you see like their bot side is like open for a dive, bro, you call your jungler right up. Yo, come right now, let's dive, get tier 1 first tower blood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, back to where were we? 3:13 ish. Anyway,
I only need 5.
And I think this is where I said where you could like auto attack Warwick, because he's like just walking up and the minions won't immediately die.
That's like he has some letters next to him.
So, just to pause on something real quick, before each game starts, you need to take your time and like think about the tree of possibilities, right? So, if you're playing against Alistar support instead of Warwick here, you should immediately, like your first thought should be, if I get close to tower range and there's nothing that has already taken tower aggro, Alistar could flash combo you into their tower, you know what I mean? Like that's one of their all-in possibilities. And you need to make sure that you watch out for something like that and be ready for it at all times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could flash out of, you know, Alistar Q if you see that he's about to do it. So, yeah. Pay attention to stuff like that. I think Warwick could flash fear you, but he has Ghost, so. Okay. So that was one of those cases where you could have chunked him out like 2 autos with an E for jumping up. Yeah?
So like every time I have the chance, because that was like super quick. Like he jumped. And I even was gonna auto him there, but you saw that I got out of range real fast.
Well, yeah, he ran around, but like
I basically almost have to predict it because my E has such a big channel, right?
And I think you could have gotten him. And it's not that you have to predict it; it's that you have to react. Like you have to think about, can he do that right now? And if the answer is yes, then you're always ready with your finger on the E key, ready for him to make that mistake. You know what I mean? Just like if you're playing against, I don't know, Ezreal, right? And he just channeled his ult at you and you have flash and you know that you're 100 health and you're like dead center of his ult. Well, you're going to have to flash it. Or like if you're playing into Ezreal and it's an all-in and you have 100 health and he has 100 health, right? And you know his Q's coming back up because he just landed it. It's because maybe he has like 20% CDR or something and let's level 5 Q. Well, that means that Q is going to come up in 2 seconds almost, or less. So as soon as he throws 1 Q, in another second, you're ready to flash, and you flash it as soon as he starts his animation. Because you know that he wouldn't waste time throwing his Q, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He would use it immediately as soon as it's up, but you remember the cooldown, and then you flash it immediately, you dodge it, and then you win the all-in. Whereas otherwise you would have died because his Q would have landed on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's always still like with stuff like this, you have to expect it before it happens. Otherwise, if you try to react when it happens without expecting it, your reaction time is much slower.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go.
Alright, so we don't know where Graves is if we play off our vision. That's our vision. We have no idea that he's cheesing top right now, but he could be bottom. So this is why we're not trying to dive all in here. But as soon as we see him top, now it's time to start playing really aggro here. We don't know where Cutlass is. He's probably going back mid. So that guy died top. We need to immediately clear this wave and then punish Lucian and Warwick harder. Which is what we're doing. Random tower shot, I don't know.
You guys are closer.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
We could go.
Okay. But now your focus needs to go back to Lucian. I'm Karma, he can't trade you with Q at all anymore in this lane. Warwick cannot do anything. Support Karma can. So you need to play up in the corner again because he's playing on the upper side of the tower. Which means you can throw, autos at him without tanking the tower. Plus Karma has shield in case he tries to throw a Q at you. That makes sense?
Oh,
So right now he shouldn't be allowed to farm, but it's gonna be really hard to throw your autos right so you don't hit the tower, but it's something you should practice. Like keeping a good camera angle there.
You don't. Yeah. Oh man.
As soon as it does this, yep, nice.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, Ed, you're gonna play against Wukong, which is the dude. He has one ability that can put out a dummy and he'll go invisible. So just be careful when using abilities. Might accidentally cast on a dummy.
This auto here is what killed you.
However, the dummy only stays there for 3 seconds and then he shows up again.
Okay.
If you wouldn't have stopped here, he wouldn't have gone behind you and feared you into them.
So just so you guys' abilities, his Q is like just empowered auto attack. His W is the dummy. His E is...
So you didn't need to die here? You
damage
just
you.
had to not stop to auto attack?
He has a baton. He basically turns into a Beyblade.
Dang, he leveled up and got dangerous game off that. Interesting. But anyway, so you didn't need to die there.
True.
And then I died there because I thought I could kill Lucian, but somehow he like literally stopped right out of range of my AoE on Q.
Go Doran. Either Doran's Ring or that corruption potion.
That's fear.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's like, yeah.
It's cause like when I run away, I know I should know when and when not to, but I always like to fight back because when I run away, I'm taking free damage that I could be like fighting back, right? But I don't recognize when I can't and can't. So that's
Well,
the
see,
thing.
that's why you need to play more and practice it. Now you know that if you ever play against Warwick support again or Warwick in general, and you're at like 200 health or something, and they're really close, you don't want to stop to auto attack like that unless you're like, I don't know, 3-4 item Draven and you have like the ability to kite people because you're faster than them or something, right? Because at this point you're not faster than him,
Yeah.
and your auto attacks are like really slow animation. So you stopping to auto attack is like half a second right now.
Against the Astro, I don't know.
And that was enough for him to jump on you and turn you and fear you in the other direction. Plus my E would have come up. So I could have moved you away even further from them if you didn't get feared into them. But anyway, it's something to keep in mind. Anyway, so here was all-in potential I thought could happen. But this guy uses the plant over here and he comes back to the bot lane. Which is unfortunate, but we didn't commit too hard to it, which was fine. As soon as... Huh?
I could have killed him there. If I committed one more.
No, he would
I
have
could have
feared
still
you.
lived. Healed? He would have healed? No.
No, he wouldn't have healed. Feared. Warwick was
feared.
close enough to fear you.
Oh, and then I would die after this.
Yeah. Wait, how much does Karthus ult there? Do there? I need to know for something.
I didn't want to heal there, but I just wanted to
I don't
make
think
sure.
you would have killed me.
Exactly.
Let's see.
I was pretty sure, but
433 to 248. 433 to 245 because of... So that's almost 300. But with Deathfire Touch, 300 exactly. So I would have lived with like 20 health, but I wasn't sure. Because because I don't know off the top of my head how much damage Karthus does. But if you would have had like, I don't know, like an ability tome here instead of Ruby Crystal, a pretty good chance that I might have died. But I mean, it's like not worth the risk, you know what I mean?
yeah.
If you don't know exactly.
It just helps with... Yeah. It has like a similar effect to roids, to be honest.
Okay, we know
Essentially.
that Jhin is coming, so we should set up for a dive here by shoving. And then you got a kill, and that was good to go. Okay, so that was good. Got first tower of blood, and then the general macro decision to switch bot and top.
Never fall.
Alright, so this guy's fighting here. We didn't notice immediately.
Man. I lot. Okay. Yeah. So look at this.
Yeah.
And then I got smoke screen.
Okay, like see, threw your axe behind you. And then you turned around again. And then you dropped the axe because I E'd you. You didn't need to turn around there. Why? Did you think he was gonna kill you?
It's just because I think chasing is a waste of time. Could be doing other
Chasing?
things. Yeah, okay.
Bro,
sorry.
you have something called a Bilgewater Cutlass, which slows down people for 2 seconds. And
No,
he
but
didn't
I'm not-
have boots.
But like you can just E off a wall and then there you go. Like I waste like 10 seconds.
How can he E off a wall? Where is he gonna E? He already used E when he ran away here.
I think it's because I didn't react fast enough. I mean, if I had that intention of going all in on him, like full on, even if he ran away and whatnot, I'd get him, but I didn't have that. And then I didn't think I would get him because of that.
Look, he just used it. 12 seconds until the next one. So you made like 3 mistakes here. You throw your axe behind you. You don't use your cutlass. You miss an axe because I E you. And I guess 4th mistake would be like you didn't get the kill on him when you should have. This is not something you ever want to miss. Ever. There's no reason not to get this. You know that Lucian is bottom. You know that these 2 guys are here. And you know Wukong's dead. There's nothing stopping you from killing him. He has no flash either, but I'm not sure if you would have known that. I don't know, unless somebody called it. You wouldn't have known. But he was nowhere near anywhere, like had the ability to flash anywhere. You had 100%, even if he flashed with Bilgewater Cutlass, you would be able to catch him, guaranteed.
And this guy is pretty fast.
I'm pretty sure he's standing here thinking, wow, this Draven just let a free kill go. Wow, this guy must not be a Draven man.
Dude. Ah, man. It's because, remember, like, yeah, I just have the wrong mindset. Because I always think chasing is bad.
Okay, no.
I didn't think I would get him. That's all. That's all I had in mind.
But see,
I'm
no,
not gonna be able to get him.
That's bad mindset in general. Chasing, I think the idea that you said chasing is bad is in itself bad. Why? Because the fact that you're only looking at chasing and nothing else means you're gonna miss kills or you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Chasing is bad if you have no vision, you don't understand where anyone else is. But if you know where everyone else is, and you know this guy just used all his escape, why the fuck not go for the kill? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's stopping you? Nothing's gonna kill you.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
You know where everyone is, there's nothing stopping you from chasing him. He's gonna die if you chase him. Nothing's gonna kill you. You just make sure you understand where everything is. Because missing something like this is huge. You miss this and we die top. And they take a tower. On this mistake alone, they in total gain over 1,000 gold. Because you made that mistake and you let them live. Think about that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sad.
But it does a lot. Yeah, they went from 15.7k to what? 9k. So that was like 1.2k gold that you gave them by letting him live. Because they would not have been able to dive that if you had killed Graves.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So small stuff like that makes all the difference. I mean, you kill him now, but we still lose 2 minion waves here. So that's still a lot. That's just him throwing. If that guy was a good player, and he didn't stay and die to you, we would be pretty behind right now. You know what I mean? But you got to shut down on him.
Yeah.
So, again, I hope you're paying attention to this, but this man is 0 mana, right? This guy walks up with 200 health monkey boy over there. You're getting a double kill. Guaranteed. You don't need me to tell you this. Hopefully you already saw it before I told you.
I didn't see the cards.
Really?
Yeah. I just saw the freaking Wukong, man. I know I could get Wukong. I just autoed him, and then you said he had no mana. And then I went for him. I actually didn't even look at his mana bar the entire fight. I don't know why. Like, my tunnel vision is super hard, man.
Alright. This is how you should see this fight here. Because he has no mana. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But anyway. Actually, hold on. I changed my mind. This is how you should see him. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So, this is a free double kill. They make a huge mistake here. And then we get a double. But make sure that you know that Karthus can use spells like unlimited when he's in his passive. So here, immediately you want to run. He doesn't, I don't think he has ult. No, he does have ulti up. So that's why you didn't want to stand here. Because if he Q'd you maybe twice, I think, you would have died. But I ran away because... Actually, no, he's 2 behind. That was level 1 ult. I lied. Yeah, you wouldn't die there. What if you're lower health?
I also had life still, though.
Yeah, I know. You're fine, but I'm saying if you were me, for example, and you had,
yeah.
you know, that much health, then you just run. There's no reason to stand there.
Yeah,
Anyway.
look at this back, dude. I almost could stop.
So because you have
Wait.
that AoE attack, you can sometimes...
What back?
Is that the right build?
Yeah, that's just fine. That's where I usually go. At least I use it. I'm still testing out the death stance, but I think it's pretty strong. I just honestly I don't know whether BORK or death stance is better yet.
Yeah, that was such a bad play, man. I autoed once the entire fight, and look how low Wukong lived. He basically lived with 1 auto.
I mean, he just played this really freaking well. But one thing here, I think you could have avoided getting knocked up by him if you immediately reacted to seeing him here with an E. Because here's what happens. If you had that potential, you throw your E like this way, knocks him this way, and you keep going this way, and you kite him by walking around this way and then turning and then trying to kill him and then going back after Lucian. This is basically the path you'd be taking during this team fight. And why? Because this guy's over here and Lucian's over here. And Karthus is dead and Warwick is dead because you know they're dead, because you killed them, because you got free money.
Look at that, I'm from full HP, I went to half like in 1 second. See,
Yeah.
like look at his HP, man.
I mean, it was very close, but like, I'm pretty sure he still dies. But the thing is,
I autoed once the entire fight if you pay attention, because
yeah, I know. It's unlucky. But what I'm trying to say here is, I think if you...
position.
I mean, position could have been anything. You didn't really know where Wukong was. Wukong could have been literally like right here playing out of vision and he could have come out and killed you, so that wasn't really the problem. The problem was more, if it happened and the opportunity was there, you didn't think that Wukong could come in and you weren't ready to immediately eat him. Because if you are and you're prepared for stuff like that, there's a greater chance that you could maybe get him off you, or I don't know. Because Wukong made a mistake there and he didn't immediately ult onto you. You had about like one second or maybe less timing window to E him away from you, where you could have thrown an additional 1 or 2 autos. Maybe he got to you, or maybe you could have escaped or something. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
But it's always like, it should always be in the back of your head that something like this could happen. It wasn't in mine, which means I was a bad player because I didn't call for it. But if you want to be an expert player with expert game knowledge and like superior map awareness, this is something that will never leave like your mind. That Wukong could suddenly cheese gank you out of vision and do this to you. Especially if you have. Did you have flash there? Cause let me check.
I didn't fly.
I don't. Yeah, you didn't have it up. But anyway.
I just tanked to that chimp.
Tank the chimp. Here. Okay. You threw in 1 auto. Yeah, you should have. Okay. You can animation cancel. Auto E. And then you get out. You had 1.5 seconds there to do it, and you didn't.
I didn't. You're right.
And that cost you? Here. This could have been an easy free kill or an even fight. I'm not sure whether you would have lived or not. Maybe you would have if you heal early and then you don't get ignited. And use it to, like, get movement speed and get away. But, like, this fight became completely one-sided because you got completely destroyed because you didn't E him. Whereas you could have gotten at least 500 extra damage in a fight like this, which would have been crucial. Because if Orianna doesn't have to focus Wukong, then she can focus somebody else. And yeah, you could have gotten an additional auto there when you were running. You just kind of just ran. I don't know what that was. But anyway, so far, minor mistakes in lane, but like huge 2 mistakes on the map. If that makes sense.
My lane isn't so bad. I think the problem with my lane phase would probably be. No, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
What?
Because I'm wrong.
What?
I was gonna say like mechanics. When I make mechanics problems and I lose fights because of it.
I don't think you make mechanical errors. I think you just make decision errors. Because like the stuff I was telling you about in lane is maybe something that's gonna make the difference between you being like hard stack D1 or low masters versus something higher. Obviously, like if you're a god at mechanics and you're a god at decision making, you probably don't need small stuff like this to make you a better player and give you every little advantage, right? But because you can't be a perfect player in every single area, you want to make sure you take as many small advantages as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you what you should do with every single support, but obviously like, it's not like I feel like I can't explain every detail in the game. It's just like something you have to get to know by playing.
Man, I could have gotten a kill there if I assumed he Graves, because you saw Graves, right? I just ulted down mid lane, but if I ulted like, okay, he's gonna go there, got a free kill there. My ult went straight down and he went up.
Okay, this was the problem I was talking to you about before that happened. Why do you think we can't chase after him? See, one of the biggest issues here is that you can't take, like, as soon as you just refreshed your axes right now and I just heard it. And this means in this position here, there's only 2 ways for you to retain those double axes to go back mid to a potential team fight, because you already know there's 2 people here and probably Wukong wants to all in Orianna.
My bad.
You run to Rift Herald and you auto it by putting a trinket down in the pit and then autoing it over the wall. Or number 2, you trinket over here, your support wards it, and you get an auto on Graves. You don't have to all in Graves, you can chunk Graves. That's good enough. But the problem is, as soon as you leave this river, you don't have 2 axes up. And this is what I was saying when I was playing with you, is you're not keeping up your axes enough. I even E'd you there, which was enough for you to run up and auto him once. But you failed to do that. Which means now you lose your axes. And now guess what? A team fight is about to happen. And yes, you could have ran in and kept autoing Graves there, and you didn't, and that's unlucky.
You think I could have? I would just get clamped by those three.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Okay, so
You're right.
here's a visualization of what could happen in this team fight. Let me zoom in real quick. Right. So do I zoom out? Okay. So you have Wukong here, you have Graves here, and you have Karthus here, right?
You can jump from anywhere.
Yeah.
Graves can ult in this direction, so he can look to do that. So now you have something like 300, 400 damage in the back of your mind that Graves could do. You have Wukong here, which you know he could literally just stop, and then, you know, by the time he stops, he can be here and start ulting. You know, Karthus. All right, let me draw an arrow. So Wukong has two paths he wants to take, right? He wants to kill Orianna, or he wants to kill us. We don't know if that's worth it or not, right? And then we have Karthus, which has. Let me use a different color for that. He has his AoE,
Like,
right? And he has his. He could throw the circle stuff literally anywhere near him, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Flash.
So these are the things that are now like should be in the back of your mind that can hit you, that if a team fight starts, you want to be avoiding, right? So if Graves is there, it means Graves can't 100 to 0 you, right? But if you enter the area of Graves plus Wukong, which would be this intersection here, you know what I mean? Or like Graves plus Karthus, you have the potential to die, right?
Yeah.
So that means this entire area is like safe zone for you. This is good for you. This is the area you want to stay in, right? So whenever you're playing, keep these kind of visuals in your head. I'm not sure if that's hard for you or whatever, but like you have to understand what the enemy is like has the potential to do, right? Does that make sense?
I do think that like what can happen, but I don't think it to the next level.
What is the next level?
I mean, like I just take in consideration like okay, like what I can do and what I can't do, and what enemy can do and can't do. But stuff always surprises me, man.
If stuff surprises you, then you didn't think about enough stuff.
Exactly.
But anyway, so you're looking at something like that, right? Orianna misses her ult, unlucky. She missed it by like a few pixels. I'm here. Okay, now this is danger zone. Holy shit, Warwick is there, right? Alright, now we have an entire new picture to paint. No pun intended. So Warwick, I think his ult is based on movement speed, like where he can ult to. But I'm pretty sure anywhere in this range is ultable. So I could be dead right now, because I'm a bad player, because I'm unlucky. But anyway, so he can ult here, and Graves again has this range, and Wukong has this range. He's probably not gonna go for Orianna, but he can probably go for us. And then Karthus, again, he's purpley, has this shit. I'm right outside his range. So, I could die here if Warwick ults me. And then that's it.
They do go in on you. They do
Yes.
react.
But keep
you're
in mind,
freaking Q, man. Look at that.
it's some fat damage. But anyway, so something I want you to keep in mind here is I didn't do this intentionally, but I can be up here because New Warwick, I'm pretty sure New Warwick ult, you can flash it. So far I've had success with flashing it. So, because you know, he throws himself in a direction, right?
Yeah.
It's like a skill shot. He jumps to direction. That's why you can use it to like get away or whatever too. But anyway, so in this kind of team fight, you're looking to immediately flash either a Graves ult if you're about to die, or a Wukong ult, or Warwick ult, right?
Yep.
So as soon as you walk up in this area, just keep that in mind. if Warwick had flash or something, I don't know, top Warwick or something, he could potentially flash on you.
I'll chat.
So be prepared to flash over a wall.
You don't see
I just get smited. You E. You auto. You didn't expect the Orianna damage. And that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to get chunked. Because I autoed him once, right? And he was
Yeah, you
basically
autoed him
almost
once,
full
yeah.
HP.
And then you
then
throw
he's like-
throw the ult too late, and yeah, that happened. That's
And then I was like,
that's
man, as soon
unlucky.
as I saw that ult, I was like, ah. I always do that.
Honestly, like,
Oh, no, it's
I would have probably made the same mistake you made here. But if you want to be a better player,
chat. There's a showtime.
you have to notice some tiny details. Alright. So,
So then the end.
okay. So watch Orianna. You have to watch Orianna. Watch Orianna. Watch Orianna. Watch Orianna. She turns around,
Then type something.
right?
As soon as I saw that,
As soon as you see her turn around, that means she wants to move her ball. To W. She's not gonna turn around to move her ball to shield you, right?
If I do
Yeah.
something back, then I just back.
So as soon as she does this, you try to all in, but you can okay. So if I was an expert player and I saw her do that, and I knew she was gonna do that, and I knew I wanted to kill Graves,
Are you using your mastery?
I would do this only if you have flash. Because there is
Yeah,
potential right now for Warwick to go on you. There's potential for Wukong to go on you. You don't know if they have flash or not unless you're keeping track or your teammates told you, right? Wukong could flash ult you at any moment. So at this point, you're throwing your auto, it's about to land, and then you're ready to throw another auto, and then you can potentially flash away. Right? Does that make sense?
Fine.
Yes, it does.
You can
That
go
would be a
J4.
good play.
I'm just gonna go.
That would be a good play, but like,
gonna
I'm
go
not
back.
saying this is a game breaker here, but I'm saying if you want to be like next level rank 1 player, you take notice to stuff like this and you react to it accordingly and you make a decision, hey, because I have flash I can take this, or
Yeah.
maybe you have a million stacks ready and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go 1-1 for this shit, no problem, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure stuff, I mean, you kind of figured that out on your own. I don't need to tell you that to pay attention to
That
stuff
was
like
a late all day. I think, man, that it was all in the LT. But the reaction that I had with the EQ, I think was normal, but
you didn't expect her to do that much damage.
yeah, so like I think it was all in the LT. If I wanted to get that kill.
Potentially. But anyway, it's not a game breaker and it's not something you should focus on, but if you want to look at details, that is something you can work on. Okay.
Now look at my back end.
You could have flashed here, away from Wukong ult. Okay, but now you flash for it too late, which actually hurts you, and then you E
And my
in the
E,
wrong
man.
direction.
It's because I was hiding as well.
Yeah.
Man, my mouse was at the wrong place. I hate when I do that stuff.
It happens. This is another not game breaker, but I think you should have been able to flash it. Cause if you had flashed in the correct direction before Wukong ulted and you E'd, you would cuck Wukong because you slow him and you throw him away from your teammates, and you have like more distance to gain. I think you would have probably lived there, honestly, if you had played that perfectly.
So what do you say, flash early? Or try to assume that
As
you're
soon
gonna
as
take the
okay,
flash?
so you have two possibilities here. If you know Wukong's coming, like you just saw him on a ward, you can E him before he Qs you, because you know how he has like a little dash and he starts autoing you.
Yeah.
You can E that and cancel it.
Yeah.
If you know he's coming, you can E that. In that case, I don't think I saw him coming. Actually, maybe we had a ward here, so I think maybe we did see him coming. So you could have predicted it if you were like expert player, or not, whatever. But the bottom line is, you in a case like that where it's a surprise to you, it shouldn't be a complete surprise to you because you know what Wukong wants to fucking do all the time. But as soon as you see him, you automatically assume he's going in because he has ult here, correct?
Yeah, when he casts his third auto, he's gonna knock you
So you automatically want to flash it
off.
because then it gives you time and you can E him away.
I've been contemplating about that a lot lately, that every time something happens, I flash like in the middle or in the end of the fight. I'm like, man, if I flashed like in the beginning, I'd be
Yes.
fine or gotten something out of it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I've been really thinking about it.
So
You know what I mean?
it's you need to get used to not being greedy with some. There's a lot of all-ins bottom that you can win by simply flashing. Nami Bubble's about to hit you, you flash that shit and you fucking win the all-in. A Lucian Q's about to hit you, you flash that and you all-in. You know what I mean? Or like flash that
Yeah.
in the middle of an all-in because you know like he has 200 health, you have 150 health, but his Q and one auto kills you. But if you can avoid it, well, guess what? He needs like 3-4 autos to kill you. So you know. Saves your life. But you need to make
Yep.
sure you think about this ahead of time. You need to make sure like as soon as something happens or as soon as you're at some point in the map where some shit could happen, you're like, all right, I'm ready to flash whatever. Like you make a list in your head of things you need to flash. All right, Warwick. All right, Malzahar is about to flash. I know he's about to flash over this wall. Maybe I can flash before he flashes. I don't know. That's supposed to be some insane fucking prediction. Or like flashing Talia ult or some shit. Like there's a million shit you can flash, right? You have to make sure that in your head you have a list of shit that you know, okay, this will kill me if I don't flash it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be
Yeah.
greedy with your sums. If you're greedy with your sums, you'll realize that you lose every single fight. So what you should do is not be greedy, because then you'll realize what you could have gotten away with and what you couldn't have gotten away with without dying. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm greedy with my thumbs, man.
You just gotta practice.
I lost so many games because I gave out first blood. And
Alright, what
then
is
that
this?
put me behind.
You walked into Graves and you didn't have an axe prepped? You could literally just trade one auto with him. And if he dashes into you, you away and you W away.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Wait,
You should already have 2 axes here.
I'm again, so it's not gonna be too bad then.
Because you know they're taking the tower, you know the minion wave is going to be there, you can already prep an axe beforehand.
His ult basically is he becomes immortal with 6 seconds.
Nice that.
But
Nice.
when he uses that ability, all his HP drains from one.
Okay.
He has another ability that if you're turning your back to him, he can slow you. And the other ability that he has is spin towards you.
I'm glad you didn't pick that up, by the way, the last axe. Otherwise you would have missed the kill. Well, actually, I think I got the kill anyway, but I don't think you'd have done as much damage as you needed.
But since you're...
And he played that well. He made it seem like he's running into you, which forced you to throw the another axe backwards, and then you're forced to drop that axe.
The standard tower, honestly, and last hit.
And then you missed this axe, which is unlucky. Actually, you missing this axe is why I get the kill, I'm pretty sure. Cause I don't think my Q does like 300, 400 damage or whatever.
I shouldn't have missed it. Is it because you moving speed me? Or
Yeah, I
no?
shielded you. And so did Oriana.
Blue team's turret has been
Anyway, so at
Yeah, I
this
don't know
point,
why I'm doing.
so yeah,
And then-
that was risky. I
And
think.
then another mistake there.
What is that, dude?
Oh my-
I mean, but right now we just got Vision of Graves. He's doing his jungle. He's doing wolves, right? Let's check. What is he doing? He's doing wolves, because we had wards. All right, Lucian's bottom. Karthus is dead. What potentially could happen right now? Wukong runs all the way up to you and kills you? Potentially. Warwick does the same? No, because he's mid. So, if Wukong all-ins you right now, he doesn't have Ignite because he already used the top. But he also died, so he should be coming out of spawn right now. You can clear this wave without dying, probably. Yeah. He just...
I had my conscience clear about clearing this wave.
So you're fine. You need to take this into account before you do something like this. This is completely fine. This is not something that's greedy at all.
Yeah.
Because we had vision. We know that guy is over here. We know that guy's over here. We know this guy's over here. And we know this guy's over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like, I should have backed.
Why? If it's free gold for you, what's the problem?
So I can reset for something new, no?
For what? I mean, Dragon's down. Herald's a potential target. But like, Shin's all the way over here without low health. So are you going to take the fucking Herald without Shin? I don't know. Probably not a good idea. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Look at this death, man. Look at this pack.
We ended up doing it because then I called for it, but then he's backing.
Oh yeah, and then he took it.
Yeah. So the reason here is like you're not doing 3 axes. Yeah. That's a huge problem. On objectives, you only.
That was terrible mechanically. I think it was super sloppy.
You're not doing W. You're not using 3 axes. You like missed an auto there, just randomly pausing. And then you threw an auto there, just a regular auto. And yeah, that last auto would have given us Herald. And then we die here. That's so unlucky. If you would have spammed W, and I'm not saying spam as soon as it's up all the time, but enough to sustain the attack speed, which I think lasts like 2 or 3 seconds or something like that, and you juggled 3 axes, you would have gotten that before Graves had come close and we would have escaped and not died.
Yeah, my mindset was like, in that scenario, my mindset was like, I don't want to use a lot of mana because I fight my breakout and I want to be ready for it.
But you're not going to use a lot of mana because you were what, like 300 mana, right? Think about this. You're using W like 3 times. That's 100 something mana. You still have enough for your ult. You have enough for your E. You have enough for a W, and you have enough for extra Qs. You want to make sure that you're above 200 mana whenever you fight. Why? Because you want to make sure you have enough for 2 axes and maybe a W, potentially an E. But like you already had 2 axes up. So 1 axe, 1 E, 1 W, 1 R. That's good enough. R is 120 mana now, I think. 100 mana? Really? Oh wait, they lowered the mana cost and increased the cooldown, right? I think it used to be 120 mana. Anyway, so E, R 170, W 200. You have 2 axes, you're good to go with using everything, and then 45 mana per axe. So you should be fine. You could have used it at least twice, and I mean, considering at this time you have Blade and Berserker Greaves, you can easily do 3 axes without spamming W. How the hell do I get rid of this shit? There we go. Makes sense? Small stuff like this will cost you. If you watched that Draven video with the one on my YouTube page, he didn't start Baron with 2 axes because he failed to start his axes early, and he lost it because somebody stole Baron. If you watched it all the way through, if he had been juggling 3 axes and came to Baron with 2 axes, he would have like done I think a few extra K damage, and they would have gotten Baron much earlier without the potential of the enemy team stealing it. But because he failed to be maximum DPS as Draven, the enemy team stole Baron because they didn't finish it quickly enough. Same thing here. But we still won this game, luckily.
Demir is mid lane, but he's going towards...
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Alright, so at this point in the game, we see Karthus bottom, we're trying to pressure for Baron, and we see...
Max is just freaking ran out, man.
And then now Baron Rush, Baron Rush, Baron Rush, Baron Rush. What are you doing? Why? You should have died there. Oh wait, he didn't have ulti. You're lucky. He was off by like 10 seconds. I don't know what Kennen's doing. This guy's like brain off. Okay, now it's too late to do Baron. If Kennen had come and you didn't take damage there, we could have probably rushed Baron because the lovely pink word is staying there.
Did you place that thing?
What is it? Pausing?
Is that your pink on Baron?
Yes. I always carry a pink. This is why you should carry a pink all the time too. Well, as support, you should be carrying like 2 pinks, 1 on the map and 2 on you, to clear wards for objectives. But as like ADC, you should at least have 1 on the map. You don't have to carry 1 on all the time with you, but like at least 1 on the map.
This fight is a mistake, man, in every single way.
Oh, you almost eat him. That's not too bad.
In a tunnel, man, like where I'm forced to go up and down.
Wait, you could have healed there. You had your heal up. I'm pretty sure you could have lived. Yeah, because I would have had ult E. Yeah, you would have lived if you had used heal. I don't know what Kennen's doing, dude. This guy's AFK. He's never there for anything. I just saw him split push and just let Lucian free farm when he was ahead. Like, cannon ahead, and he didn't punish Lucian at all. A random Q.
Blue team has slain Baron Nashor.
Alright, okay, here, another mistake. You
Pretty
can
bad
already,
axes going.
you start one here, you juggle it off on the raptors, you have 6 seconds till your next axe, which means if you juggle it here, and then you have 6 until your next one, that means you'll already have 2 on your next one. So by that time, you're already at the scuttle, and your double axes. After that, you start another axe off the scuttle, and probably just finish the scuttle, and then either rotate top or some shit like that. But you don't have that up, which is a problem. Big problem. Huge problem. Mega huge problem. Okay, anyway. Continuing. And you still don't start it. Oh my, what the
Dude, just
What, you're running into their jungle without double axes. You know how dangerous shit like this is? Luckily Jhin is there, but damn, dude, I'd be afraid. It's fucking Draven with noodles if you don't have your axes up. And you randomly drop your axe, what the hell? I don't even know what's going on here. Jhin dove and died again. And then he dropped another axe.
that axe.
Blue team's turret has been
Jesus.
destroyed.
My eyes shield them. Alright, so we don't know where Wukong's here. We know what he's been doing. We have to be careful. He could be mid or he could be here. And we don't want to be here. Definitely not with Lucian playing this like closely up. Risky, risky, risky. Get me the fuck out.
Never fall.
And we barely escaped death.
I die here. Yeah, it's here, I die. And you're like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, we just had vision. We still have vision. We know they're both there, dude.
Look at me, man. Look at...
Because you don't have 2 axes here, you die. Oh, you get pinged the shit out of right here. You have flash, you have flash, you have... What? You didn't flash it.
Man, I didn't see him, man.
You should... It doesn't... It's not that you didn't see him, it's that you have to instantly react to it because you know it could be a possibility. You run over here because you knew Wukong was here. Well, guess what, dude? This guy could flash over the wall and go on you and just... He wants your nuts, dude. That's why you gotta be like instantly D-key. All the time. Because you know he was there. Right? You know he was there.
Yeah.
With the possibility that he flashed over the wall and went to you is a possibility. And guess what? It happened. But because you didn't think about it, you didn't flash in time, you couldn't E away and run away. Because in that kind of case, you usually can flash. Especially you can long flash over this like rock here to the brush. Close to it. And E him. And by that time, you can also get to the, you know, red plant and then E yourself or whatever. Just go over the wall and then you can completely avoid him if he tries chasing you. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Yeah.
It's good that you left those because we were about to fight here. Okay, here, I would say rush into them and fight them immediately. Why? Because they're by themselves. How do I know this? Warwick is bottom, and Wukong is dead. Where the hell is Graves? We don't know. But if we did know, I mean, I don't think it would change much. Let me go back 15 seconds. Okay. So we might know here, because we know which way, which direction he goes.
I wanna see how Zen died.
He just goes in.
He just went in.
Okay. So if you can pay attention to how much Graves has in health here, this should be your sign that you can rush into them. Karthus dies in 3 autos. Lucian dies in 4. And you can crit and then reduce that in half. Actually, I think Lucian needs one pretty
What
well.
you're gonna do is you're gonna push this wave,
So,
you're gonna back.
you see how you're playing backline Draven here?
Playing it safe.
This is illegal. Okay. So, let's see. Where is it? Press X. There we go. So, you should have, like, on your back, you should have had a blue trinket here, but you have a regular trinket. So what you should be doing here, because we saw Graves walking this way, okay, now we know that he's here. You should have already, before we saw him there, you should have warded immediately over the wall here and then rushed towards these guys. Why? Because you can kill Karthus immediately. And next up is Orianna shield plus Karma shield negates any burst Lucian does. Completely. Enough for you to immediately just kill Karthus and immediately kill Lucian. The fact that you're playing backline there, you don't realize you have the opportunity to kill here. Even 3v3, even if Graves was here, you'd be able to kill everybody. But because you're not realizing that that's a possibility because of the comp we have, immediately we lose pressure. But I think I said go in here enough times that you eventually listen.
And I die here. Like, look at that, man. I die here so fast.
Waited too long.
I thought that was a terrible play.
No.
I tanked Lucian ult, and then I tanked 2 Qs to the face. Oh my god, this died immediately. No, man. Look at this pathing.
Because look, like, the problem, you.
It was too late to react, eh? I should have reacted.
It's not your fault here. It was a good play, but the problem is like Orianna didn't see it. So it's like before where you and Orianna were next to each other and she was playing aggro, it was good. But now she like turned around and stopped chasing. Do you see how far away she randomly got from you?
Yeah, she gave me that buff. Movement speed. You see?
Okay, and then as soon as you were getting hit
And my
with Lucian,
path.
you didn't need to kill Karthus here, by the way. You could immediately like leave here and get out of his W and live and heal and whatever the fuck you need to do. Okay? Like the fact that Lucian was tanking you there, like when you were tanking Lucian ult there, and you got Karthus to like, what do you call it, 300 health, and you see where Orianna is, immediate sign for you can leave. You don't need to stay to die for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you failed to recognize that the All-In was there earlier, this fight was unlucky and unfortunate because Orianna was already too far away and you ended up having to tank Karthus plus Lucian. If you had taken it earlier and Orianna maybe would have noticed, it would have gone better. But it worked the way it did. So, I mean, you played it well up until, like, you overcommitted and then you died for it. But it was still a good fight for us. Because we came out ahead here and we killed them. So it was good for us. And then I don't know what happens to Orianna. I live. I don't know what happens to him. And she died. So we traded 2 for 2. Not too bad, but could be better. If you hadn't died. Again, not game breaker, but you should notice that if somebody else can take the kill, you don't have to go die for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Die to tank. And what is that? What is that kiting? You just like ran away from them with that axe, bro. I would have kited downwards. So just small detail. I just saw somebody here, and when I'm playing Draven, everyone on the map is someone on the I can kill. So everyone is my target. You kite down left instead of up right maybe. He won't be in fear range if you kite down low. But potentially maybe you can start another fight with another person and get more kills and be Big Daddy Draven. Make sense?
Yeah.
I cleared that. And then the fight that turns the entire game around. They dive really hard. Lucian's not there, and we get 3 kills and then get burned. Good stuff here.
It literally turned the game around. Look at, we were behind gold. After that fight, we were ahead.
So here's something you should notice. Warwick is up. Jhin is basically irrelevant now because he's so low health, and Orianna's half health. They have 3 into 4 of us, and Orianna doesn't have ult because she just used it. You know, Kennen just used his ult because, I mean, he just fucking used it, and so did you. This is not a fight you can win. They can hold off inhib long enough here as 3v4 that it's not worth it. This is why you need to make sure in this kind of situation, you should shot call. If you want to carry your elo, you should shot call. Immediately, Baron ping. Or Baron preparation. Because like right now they could rush for it, especially if we try to go for inhib. We don't want that. Just take, get vision, and you know, prepare for it. Obviously Orianna and Jhin don't want to do anything with Baron because they're just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing bot side, but we got vision on it. We know whether or not they're going to rush it. So this is important for us. Anyway, so here I said don't back because there's a potential that Kennen gets cheese and all in here. I noticed that Wukong is acting weird, so there's probably a brush, or a ward in this brush. So I do the pinking, because he ran away when you started coming towards him. And now I say us run, because don't want to die here, because they're all rotating. But anyway, so now, back to trying to get Baron.
Oh, they get Baron. I stalled my back so much, man. Did you see that? I could have backed like 10, 20 seconds earlier. How did they get Baron?
Because Graves is soloing it, I'm pretty sure. He was soloing it. And then this team came.
Yo, did you realize Kennen was AD? Yeah, I didn't even realize.
AD Kennen is pretty good, but the problem is this guy didn't know how to play Kennen. Now, how do I know that? Because he went static shift instead of Runons and Black Cleaver and Orphers and Molly. And he just let Lucian farm for free instead of killing him 24/7. Anyway.
Was this a Baron right now?
I think we... Oh shit, I paused. X. Okay, now you have your blue trinket, nice. Alright, so we just try to cheese and... Not cheese, but just play out of vision here, just deny vision. Which is good. We don't know where... Like, we want to wait for Kennen here. Because that guy just does not want to fucking come. Ever. We have to play around that. Don't tilt. Just wait for your teammate to be a teammate eventually.
Barry said I could have died right away.
Yeah. Because you didn't know
yeah.
where they were. So you walked up. Karthus is here. He can ult you. You don't know where Wukong is. The biggest problem here is Wukong. He's your only, like... He's the death of you. He's here. If Wukong wasn't just camping here, and he was just instead sitting here, you would have died.
Yeah.
Warwick has ult, but like, for some reason he's not looking for it. He has vision of it. He has vision of you being dumb and playing here, but he's not reacting to it. So this is a problem Wukong, made. A problem Wukong made, a mistake he made, whatever. But yeah, so, should not be here. That's why I queued this brush. I was like, maybe Wukong. Anyway, these guys fight here for no reason against like 2v5. They really like 2v5ing, and I don't understand why. You need to flash that because Wukong flashed into us, and his team was too far away, so it was fine to tank something like that. And you have to understand that sometimes you don't have to use your summons. But it's like, you really have to know the game and be fine-tuned with everything to understand that something like that didn't need to be flashed before it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're life stealing. Good job, Draven. Good job. Alright.
Yeah, there's an item that is...
Start seeing them that they walk towards that. And this entire time, Graves starts soloing it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This guy with his fucking death stance, dude. No death... Where's the death stance? Ah, he's trolling, dude. No death stance? Wait. He starts soloing it? Oh, and then he smites... Oh. He didn't even have smite up. That's crazy. I could have stolen it if Warwick didn't ult me then. Okay. Or maybe. Okay. But anyway, so this ends up being a really good fight for us because Karthus. Here's something you have to notice about this fight. We want to take this because Karthus died out like in a closed off area, kind of towards Baron Pit. So in any fight that we have here, he's basically useless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can keep kiting here. This guy's going in solo. You can one-shot anybody that comes near you besides Warwick.
Good.
Gets feared. People dies.
Not enough life.
And then here we're trying to see if we can stop their
That's
backs.
okay.
And then Lucian and Graves are just running off. This is fine. Now we can basically take that uncontested. So something that could have happened here, these guys could have easily just sat here if they had a like vision of you coming and they could have killed you. Make sense?
Yeah.
So make sure you're careful with that. If that was me, I would blue trinket over the wall here before I walked that way.
Bill. Bill's dead. Bill's dead, man.
Anyway, so that was the game. Any
I
questions?
didn't play well this game at all, man.
It's fine. Shit happens.
The only reason I got kills is you were like, go for it, and then I got it. But other than like, you basically fed me a few kills, like basically all my kills. But because I didn't really, oh my, it was a terrible game from my perspective. Free OP though.
I mean, the bottom line here is like, did you learn something from what I was telling you? Because like, if you tell me everything I said today, you already knew. I'm gonna be pretty sad. So.
Oh, what I learned from all this is that they always, when you said that I should always consider that they're hunting me down, that was something big, man, to think about. That they're always gonna be looking for you, so be prepared or something.
Mm-hmm.
And what the enemy can do, like, can he, like, if you're in your positioning, can he ult you, and you have to be prepared for that. And like, like, don't be greedy with your sums, like flash when you have to flash or something like that, right?
Yep.
And yeah, basically.
Just make sure you don't miss kills, because that's one of the biggest things about Draven. Like,
Oh yeah, and the miss skills.
like in lane bottom with Draven, you need to be efficient and know what all your all-ins are, and how you can do them with your sums or without or whatever. And then on top of that, being able to track the jungler. Like, the only easy jungler tracking I can tell you was, again, what I told you at the beginning of the game, whether they start Raptors blue or red. You can tell usually, especially if you group with your team to get wards in, which is, you should always try to invade and try to get wards in. But then you should know where their jungler is up to like the 3-minute mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they start bot side, they'll be top side by 3 minutes. If they start top side, they'll be bot side by 3 minutes. You make sure you get your wards in before 250. Does that make sense? I think Elise, like a really good Elise player, can probably gank around 245 or like 250, like something really low. Same thing with like Lee Sin, because they have really good clear times. But like, you have to make sure you're prepared for that. And other than that, like, when you see mistakes bottom, you take care of them with your axes. Make sure.
What are my strengths and weaknesses
As Draven?
from this game only? Like, what you see, I was like, okay, he's fine here.
I mean,
but he really needs to get better here, you know what I'm saying?
I think you play lane pretty well. Like, besides the extra stuff I was telling you, I think, like, since you already knew that the, what do you call it, the under tower stuff, like, you were doing really well there. But the problem was mid-game. I see that the way you play, you probably get caught and throw a lot of advantages, or you just lose the game because you get caught. Because you literally walk into places you should not be walking to, because I know 100% that you have no idea where they are, and you don't know what they could be doing to you. Like, I think you died like 3 or 4 times that way this game. So like I know once or twice it could happen by mistake. Yeah. Everyone makes mistakes, but for it to happen that many times, it kind of tells me you're not aware of this part of the game.
Okay, you wanna go
So-
now, guys?
Something you should pay attention to.
Yeah, to avoid getting picked off mid game, what should I do? Like look down for objectives, group like.
You should
friends?
always stay grouped and then just help your support like ward and pinks and stuff like that. But like here, what happened here is you just didn't pay attention to where people are on the map.
You have.
Like we knew they were topside, you still got caught here.
So
You should know that they still could be here because we saw them here right until we lost vision. If you're here and then they could be here, I mean maybe you shouldn't take scuttle and you just group mid or just take some jungle camps or something until everyone groups again or like the waves come back to your side. Like you just wait at that point. If you can't get vision or can't get any objectives, you wait for your team to group. Does that make sense? There are some stale moments in the game where you cannot do anything but wait. But there are very few. Usually like if you have Krugs up and everyone's backing or whatever, like no objectives are up on the map, you just go take Krug camps and yeah, back and keep going. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question or?
Yeah. What I heard a lot is just wait until the team makes a mistake and then capitalize on it.
Yeah, you don't have to play like aggro. You have to play like smart aggro. In the sense of, again, if I'm playing bottom and Bard and Lucian both waste both their Qs and hit nothing, bro, you better expect to get those people out of lane. You know what I mean? Especially if the minion waves are even, because they're not allowed to be in lane anymore if they don't have anything. Like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and all you have to do is farm, and then suddenly you dodged their like Bard Q. Well, now Bard's useless. But again, you have to make sure before you choose to all in, where could their jungler be? Can their mid laner TP to me? Can their top laner TP to me? Do I have a ward behind me? You know, there's a lot of things you gotta make sure you know could happen before you choose to do something. And again, people making mistakes, like let people engage into you. Usually if you don't fall behind, you will outdamage everyone. Like when Wukong engaged on us.
Okay, so you know the abilities?
Where was it? Here. That was a mistake. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And we didn't have to do anything here but wait. Like we saw Jhin and Ori go for some, you know, lovely plays, but and Jhin died. But all you have to do here is just wait and farm. And I mean, this guy decides to go for some really weird aggro engage, and he just got punished for it. Good, cool. Disengage, chill. Go farm camps because all the waves are pushing out, so you can't really farm side lane. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I really wish I could put this in like a better perspective or like, I don't know, a better structure, but bottom line is stay alive as much as possible and get as many kills as possible.
Do you have Ghost actually, Ed?
Okay.
So the two biggest points in this game were the letting Graves go here and then the Rift Herald, I think, not doing enough damage to it.
You know how this all works?
That was the like biggest throws. Because like I don't know how, like I can't describe every single potential kill potential you have all the time. It's something that's relative and you should learn because I can't teach it to you, but I can give you examples of it to help guide you. And that was one of them where you knew he dashed, so you pay attention to sums or to spells and like hopefully sums.
Yeah.
And you know that, okay,
only use Ghost if you need to.
I know how much damage all his abilities do. I know relatively what their cooldowns are. I have a chance right now for this amount of time to engage on him and try to kill him. If it doesn't work out, I probably won't die. You know, like, you weren't gonna die to the graves if you tried to kill him.
Ghost.
Does that make sense? So every situation that's presented to you, you should be like following that list steps,
It's in all.
whatever.
So what I've been told was I've been told 1, 2, 3, 4 points before.
And like I can go anywhere.
My other I have this friend who's who helped me, and he gave me 4 points. He was like, think ahead. He said as that as well. Positioning, especially how to use your axes, like if you want to close in a fight and stuff.
I don't think you have any problems with that.
He said close distance in a one fight to reduce enemy XP chances. I really been trying to do that. And when
I see that you do it. I mean, like for the most part, you're pretty on point with that. I'm not gonna complain about that. Like especially when you dropped one of your axes top to go for Warwick here, which was perfect. Like that was good. And then here, like you could have tried to kite to the left when you were killing Warwick to maybe try to go after Lucian or whoever was out of vision. Like I mean, you're pretty on point with that. So I don't know. I'm not gonna complain about that. What were the other 2 points?
He said pay attention to circumstances such as minions and terrain, like if like a plane is gonna stun you and whatnot. And he said, last point he said, which he said is the most important one, was question your situation constantly, which is what you're saying. Like you should know that if there's a possibility of this happening, you should be able to react to it. And that's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think for my next game I can take this on consideration.
Okay. And before I close this out, is there any final questions or anything like that? Because I want to make sure you know I was as useful as possible.
Nah, man, you did it.
I didn't. Are you sure I didn't?
Well, we're gonna see if anything changes in the next week or 2.
Okay.
On my performance.
Please make me proud. I don't want to be a shitty coach. I want to see D5 to D4 at least, dude.
No, D4, and if for some reason I do really well out of the blue, D3.
Really good jungler. I always
Dang.
But
The dream.
I'm definitely, yeah, the dream.
All right. Well, message me on League or Skype, whatever. If you have any other random questions, I'll try to help you out. Sounds good.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right. GG's. See you later.
Have a good one.
You too.
See you, dude. Bye.